Oh boy, turning stuff off. I'll be right with you. What's up, guys? Want to make sure that everything is good here. I'm just gonna make sure I'm centered on my cameras. I got them all over the place here, but I want to welcome you guys to day 4 of 31 Days of Halloween. My name is Dan. I'm with Haunt Collective, and you guys are watching a live stream on the top 5 things you need to know for Q-line acting. They are the top 5 must-haves. So I wrote them all down because I did take a poll from a bunch of actors, Q-line actors from all over the United States, and I got a bunch of them here, so bear with me as I go here. So the top 5s that we have, we're going to start with the character itself, and then move into costuming and design and props and all that stuff. So the first thing you have to be within the top 5 is quick-witted. You got to make sure that you have snappy comebacks. You're able to observe the cue line, observe the actor or the customers as they come in, figure out which ones that you can really pick out of the crowd and entertain the rest. Because ultimately we are in the entertainment industry, and that's what we're looking at to do, is to entertain these people. So it's not all about scaring, it's about entertaining. So with that being said, you always have to have snappy comebacks. The other thing is and like I said, the power of observation. The one last thing I wanted to touch on was, let's say you're in a conversation with a customer. The one thing you want to really make sure that you do is have a way out, an exit way out. One of the actors, in fact, it was Kyle that said this. He's like, always have 3 or 4 last lines to get you out of a situation. With Kyle's character, the one that he was talking about was, okay, love you, bye, and he would leave, and he would just disappear. And that is his way out. There's 100 different ways you could look to find something better to get out of a situation, but that's what he's talking about with that. The number two, highly detailed. This is what I love to talk about, and that's the detail portion of costuming, or detail portion of your Q-line actor. You have to have a detailed costume. You have to have a detailed mask or makeup. And then you also have to have a detailed backstory about your character. You have to make sure that you know everything about your haunted house so that the customer is enthralled or absorbed by what you are doing. The more they believe what you're saying, the more you have a detailed story that comes out, the harder it is for them to say, oh, that's not real. They get absorbed into it. It's telling a story, and that's really what you want to get to the bottom of with your character. So that's number 2. Number 3, after talking to everything, is having a prop. Now, there's a lot of different props you can have. This one's one of mine. This is just a saw blade from Gorgalore. Use this one a lot. So this is a highly detailed prop. You know, it's got some weight to it. Looks realistic. Here's another one. Boomstick. Put a skull on the end of it. You can see the top of it, but this is great. Just walk around, and you know, if you guys know what a boomstick is, another great actor Q-line prop to have. Smaller. It's not all about the big. It's about getting the little stuff, little details like an eyeball. You know, leaving this here. The other one that I really liked, and I was talking about this last night with a haunter, was I went to an attraction where they had clothespins, and they took the clothespin and they clipped it on you and you didn't even know. When you left, it was the next day, later that night, you find this clothespin attached to your shirt, your jacket, your hood, your hat, and you're like, what the heck is this? And it would have some little weird saying on it, kind of keep you thinking about the attraction and that character. And I really like that, so I use these eyeballs. And I give these away at the haunted house. I mean, they cost me next to nothing to make, and that's what I give away. Another cool prop type thing is clacker gloves. I'm sure many of you know what clacker gloves are, but they're just mechanics gloves that have metal fingers on them. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these in a later video, part of 31 Days of Halloween. So stay tuned for that. So that's another thing that you can get. So that's your detail costume. The other portion is in that whole detail section is the character. You really have to think about what your character is all about, how your character fits into the haunted attraction, and be prepared to answer questions on who, what, where, and why, and how with characters, with the customers in the queue line, because they're going to ask you, and you have to have a quick answer for that. The last thing that I said for the top 5, and this is a good one. It was given to me by a haunter, and that is always stay hydrated, water. Always have throat lozenges like Ricolas or something like that for somebody who talks a lot. It's always good to have that. And then the last thing is, if you're in the colder climates, hand warmers in your pockets. Keep your hands warm. I'm up here in Wisconsin, and let me tell you, in October, it can get down to 30 degrees. And if you're working a crowd, yes, your body's warm, but your hands are cold. So top 5, that's what we've got. Top 5 must-haves. Top 5. Guys, have any questions? Make sure you leave them in the comment section below. Maybe you've got some top 5s that you want to talk about that I didn't cover. Just leave them in the comment section below. If you liked what you guys saw, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Appreciate that. The more thumbs up, the better. And then if you keep wanting to seeing more, make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit that bell, because the more stuff that we bring out, the more you'll see it. So this is Dan with Haunt Collective, and we are haunting since 1924. So stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next video tomorrow.